Hi everybody, welcome back. We're here at Bangor Grammar School, so it must mean it's time now to go in and have a look at the show. This is the North Down Model Railway Society's annual show just before Easter. So we're going to go in now and we're going to have a more detailed look around at the different layouts. Here we have Middlehurst. This is an N-gauge layout. You see it's got quite a large town scene here. The station towards the front. And two loops. Here we have a HO layout. This is a European tramway.
The old Donegal Railway trains around there.
I think do they still have them?
I think, yeah.
Just a bit. Yeah, because they even have the red, white, and blue livery still.
Yeah, the weird thing was the cabs. They had the cabs. It was
Yeah, I mean, they're also.
never all the hours.
You also can see on this layout how it also goes through the four seasons.
Yeah, that's funny.
And we have a Magna Rail cyclist on here. Pull back, come down to the end. You can see how it goes from spring through to summer, autumn, and into winter. So here we have Ian and his son Elijah's Thomas collection. They've got Stephanie going around here. Here we have a O-gauge tinplate wind-up railway and some modelling done here. And here we have an old wader turned into a house. And here we have Z-gauge. And who can name that character going around on the back wagon? Here we have the island of Sodor. This is a Thomas layout. We got Thomas going around. Here we have Jerry Burns' layout. This is Kitten Woods. This is an N-gauge layout. It's running on a shuttle system. I don't know if the mic's picking up the background noise. Here we have Glen Abbey Model Railway Club, and they've got 2 N-gauge layouts here. And then this is our other N-gauge. And just an overview, both of them. See how you can pack quite a lot into a small space using N-gauge. Here we have a collection of plastic kits, all assembled and painted up, and these are all in various scales. Here we have now some Hornby 3-rail.
Oh, next they're going to be looked after, and they're going to be seen. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're going to be seen though. You know, you can go and see them. You probably look like that. Red people coming to town and head on to
Here we have the stone yard. This is 7mm narrow gauge. So here we have N-gauge T-track. As you can see here, these are all different modules. So they come with the, set them up with the same sort of track layout, and then each module you can put your own scene onto. And then you can come along and put them all together and make a nice big model railway. You can see here you've got a town scene module. I'm going into more of a rural module. And along with a castle, countryside, cutting. On the back then you can see the modules will be made into a fiddle yard. So here we have now Evenwood. This is a 00 gauge layout, the period of 1900s to 1960s. I'll just give you a quick overview. So it's a nice big layout here, nice big run. And we'll just go down the layout now. So at the back there, see there's a circuit going all the way around with a fiddle yard. And then it comes on to the scenic, and it's here. We have a bridge. And then we'll just catch this double-headed express coming through. And we've got a station. Signal box with an interior. And we've got bridge going over the road. Nice country scene. We've got a culvert there, so walkway through for animals under the railway. And we've got a freight train coming through. DMU, working the opposite direction. And bridge, and it's off behind the scenes. So here we have Little Japan. This is N gauge, and this is a favourite at all the shows. There's just so much happening on this layout. Here we have a 00 gauge layout, and this is Lisburn. And this layout is by Ulster Model Railway Club. I'll give you an overview now, looking down, and then you can see that goes behind the scenes there. Nice big fiddle yard. And here we have Larg. This is an N-gauge layout. Here we have Quarry Junction, 00 gauge.
Want to put a train in that? It's sort of like a flyover. If you want to put a train on that, do that from there. So. You let me know when it's coming around.
That's what they do.
Here we have some double O gauge Hornby 3 rail.
That's the way it was done in the 50s. The bar was in the middle rail. Yeah.
Here we have South Dublin and their N gauge layout. Here we have double O gauge layout. This is Quarry Hill. Let's give you a general overview so you can see the size of this. And we'll go around it. So this is scenic all the way around. So we've got the station here, Quarry Hill. Lots of detail and things to see on this layout. It's a lovely big layout. We come into this big fiddle yard here, which they've scenic as well. And we've got a train coming through. So by the fiddle yard here we've got a little town scene, little platform, Jamestown, and then it goes on back around again to where we started. Here we have First Bangor. This is an N gauge layout. And this is made up of different sections. So we have section's called Scaysville. And then we move on to Charlie's Ridge. You see, this is quite a fun layout. There's a lot going on here. We've got Back to the Future scene there. Train going off the edge with the DeLorean in the sky. And we go on to Cosmopolitan section. Nessie in the water there. And it comes down here and loops back around. And we even got a little boat moving in the bay. Give you the overall length of it there. Here we have Earn Model Railway Club with their T-track end gauge. Again, this is a sectional layout. You can see how each section has got a different scene on it, and then you can just bring them all together. So you can build your layout as big or as small as you want it. We've got James going around. And it continues on around the back. Here we have Castlegate. This is an old gauge layout. Of the merry-go-round. Well, that looks like fun. So here we have little tracks, and as you can see, it's double O gauge to use the smallest possible space, but yet cram so much in. So the total space used here is 3 foot by 3 foot 9 inches. And you can see how much is actually crammed in here. And here we have the smallest layout of the show. This is T gauge, and this is approximately 580 mils by 620.
360.
Oh, 360. Sorry, by 360. So in that we got 2 loops. And all these had to be hand painted, including the locos. Here we have a double O gauge layout. This is Scout Stay Out. I think this is approximately 12 foot by 7 foot. You can see how it's scenic all the way around. A nice little viaduct scene here. It comes around. It's 2 circuits. And then you can see we have the Scout camp. Who wouldn't want to go to a camp? Who would want to go to a Scout camp like that? The train's running right beside you. So here we have a wooden railway. I think for a lot of us, this would have been our first train set. Of course, in my day, they weren't motorised, so I had to push them around, but now they're battery operated and they go around by themselves. Here we have a diorama. This is of a sales yard, and this is 1 to 50 scale, around 1970s to 80s. Here we have St. Davids MPD. This is a double O gauge layout. And it shows a typical MPD. And a little detail in the shed there, all working, servicing the locos. And we've got a refueling point out here. It's all nicely detailed, nicely weathered. I don't know whether the mic's picking up as well, but they're sound-fitted locos. And we got DMU shuttling backwards, forwards there in the back. And up above that, we've got the street scene, rear of the houses. And then another scene over here, the scenic break. Here we have Parkqua, which is based on Reverend Aldry's layout. And of course, you'll know Reverend Aldry as the creator of Thomas the Tank Engine. So let's go over and have a look at this layout. And here it is here. DMU shuttling around there. And it's double O gauge, and a lot of the items would have been scratch built on here. Here we have Under the Swan Rock by David Wynne. This is N gauge. And David said I have to imagine that I'm on a lake somewhere on the German-Austrian border looking at this railway. Just pull back and give you an overview of the size. And again, this sort of shows where you can have a small shelf style layout. And a quick sneak look behind the scenes at the fiddle yard there. And here we have a massive Meccano layout. I'll get down here so you can see some of the Meccano engines going around. You even have a dinosaur over here. Here we have Hobbs End. This is a nice little shelf type layout, double O gauge. Again, showing what you can have in a small space. We've got a little dockyard scene here. You can have hours of fun shunting around on. Complete with some canal boats. Here we have Baligar Junction. This is a double O gauge layout. Again, this is like a shelf layout, so it's having fun in a small space. So you can see a little shunting layout, an engine shed over there, a little station, a couple of sidings. Down this end, just after the scenic break, is just a small fiddle yard. And you can see the overall length of it there. So here we have Winterstroke Christmas layout. This is double O gauge. It's operated by a shuttle, and the shuttle also operates the light signals, which you should see that change now. And then up comes the loco. Here we have a layout that was built for Modeller's Corner in Enniskillen. Again, this operates on the same type of shuttle. You have the light signals, and when they turn green, as you can see, it's almost a head down the track. There we go. Recognize that person? Now moving on over here, we have a starter layout. This is double O gauge. It's converted to DCC. And we have tunnel over one half, little street scene, and station. have a mixture of trains running on here. We have a Black 5 pulling some Pullman coaches. And on the other line we have an Irish A-class pulling some Irish Rail coaches. Here we have the Inver layout, and this is modelled on Donegal narrow gauge Inver station, which was on the Donegal to Kittybegs line. And here we have Railcar 18 on the bridge, about to come into the station. Now this is O gauge, but it's on hand-built track of 21mm. So it gives a true scale representation of the 3-foot narrow gauge. And here we have members of the North Down Model Railway Society who put on an excellent show this year. All thanks to Ellen in the middle there.
Super job.
All right, here I am with Ellen. She's the organiser of this show, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the show, the organisation and the club. Over to you, Ellen.
Thank you so much, Mark. First of all, big thanks to Mark and the support of Donegal Dad.
Sorry, no problem.
Coming along every year and capturing the essence of the show. We're particularly proud of the show this year. So we were back here at Baligar Grammar School, and we've got 70 interactive layouts, demonstrations and displays. We've got traders, etc. as well, as you know.
Yeah.
Because you spend a lot of money with them yourself.
No, if my
No
missus is
shopping has been
watching,
done.
I've not spent any money.
What we've changed for this year's show, and we're constantly refining and improving, is creating a dedicated kids zone.
Yeah.
And that was very much born out of our juniors membership. So we launched our juniors close to a year ago, because at the show we seen a high volume of young people coming along and really enjoying what they seen. And we thought, wouldn't it be fantastic to open our club to dedicated juniors? So we had a couple of younger members, early teens, that were still mixing with adults. But I think we got to sort of a critical point where there was sufficient volume of young people, very much canvassed at the show, to come along and open up the club. And on a Tuesday night now, on the first and third Tuesday, we have our junior night. Because it's been maturing over the last year, we actually set up a junior zone in the library. So we were able to have our young people running layouts and supporting other young people who are interested in the hobby. But we also then catered for our neurodiverse visitors, having a quiet zone where we had some decompression tents, etc. And I just think that really made the difference, because it can be very overwhelming coming into a strange environment for young people with neurodiversity. So to have access to an interaction with young people who love this hobby, love trains, love models, I think it definitely has improved on last year yet again.
I must say it was great seeing a lot of the kids coming around. I had my own layout here this year with a DCC control, so I had a tablet out, so I was able to allow the kids to blow the whistles on the trains and everything, and they loved it.
Right, blending trains and technology, it's definitely going to attract the next generation into this hobby.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll put details to the club down below, so their website, Facebook page, everything like that, so you can join up and find out more information about them. And this show is on every year, the weekend before Easter usually. I'm sure we'll be back next year. Bigger and better again?
We're going to keep trying and improving. I think that's what it's about. We focused on trains in our early years. Now it's very much trains, planes, boats, automobiles, anything in miniature. So we're seeing a growing attendance for those that enjoy things like Warhammer, which I absolutely love. I often say, if you make it in miniature, you should be here.
Yeah, there is a lot to see here. Between the 3D print guys, and I got something 3D printed, so you'll see that later. The desktop gaming, the model boats, planes, everything. There's so much to see here. It's not just about model railways. So I recommend, if you're watching this, make sure you put the date in your diary and come to the show here in Bangor.
Yep, we'll be back 27th, 28th of March next year.
Okay, thank you very much, Alan.
Appreciate it, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's not just model railways you'll find at this show. We've also got tabletop gaming. And we got exploding dice here. And you can see some of their tabletop gaming setups. And you can see there is a crossover here with model railways creating diorama scenes for your tabletop gaming. Obviously painting and assembling different kits. So I'm going to go around a few of the other exhibits here now. We'll have a crossover towards model railways. So here we have a collection of miniature houses. Again, these are by different manufacturers and they come in different scales. These are all different kits that would have been painted up and put together. There's some details on an exhibition they're going to be having. And here's one of the suppliers. Now I know these do kits in 00 gauge, so 1 to 76, and larger scales. So check out their website. You can see the sort of detail here that goes into the interiors. Of course, who growing up hasn't had a Lego set? Really nice big Lego scene here. And here's some details on an exhibition that's coming up. Here we have a collection of different military models. Again, this is all in different scales. These are all kits painted up. And you can see that tank sitting on there, diorama scene. Again, you can see the crossover here between the hobbies. And these models are Swan models, and there's our details there. And here we have a massive collection of die-cast models. And the majority of these seem to be 1 to 43. Might be some other scales mixed in there too. Now for something completely different, here's a model of Asterix Village. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Asterix. We also have different societies here at the show. So here we have the O Gauge Guild. It's a display of some of their models. You can get more information. And I'll just go back on there so you can get their web address and details there. So here we have the Downpatrick and County Down Railway. They're here with a display. They're always looking for help. We've got some items for sale here to support their efforts in maintaining and restoring a section of line. If you want, you can volunteer. And these are all the different things you could do to help them out. And And there's their website there. Get in touch with them. So an important part of any of these shows is the retailers. So obviously they pay to be here and they help support the show. So it's always important to give these guys a shout out. And if you do come to a show, try and spend some money with them, because without these guys, the shows wouldn't happen. This is Mark's Models. They have a store in Cork and 2 in Dublin, one in the city centre, Hawkins Street, I believe, and then one out on Green Oak. So look these guys up. They do have some second-hand stock as well. Here we have G Model Scene. Again, another retailer. Lots of modelling products here. Lots of various scatters, trees, bushes, that sort of thing. Everything you need for creating your model, your diorama. Again, there's their website and email address. We have provincial wagons. You can see they got some wagon kits here. Merrick have a display here as well. If you don't know what they are, look them up. They do a lot of kits that you can use on your railway. There's different things here, making a tree fall, level crossing kits, all sorts of things. So look them up. You can become a member and you can get little kits like these. And they're lighthouse simulator, steam sound, LED dimmer. So you can get all these kits. So there we go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the little look around this show. This is the North Down Model Railway Society's annual show, and it's usually on the weekend before Easter every year here in Bangor Grammar School. So a big thank you to my channel members and patrons. Thanks for their support. Their names will be scrolling here. And I'll pop another couple of videos on the screen here and here, and the old subscribe button in the middle. So if you can give me the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, leave any questions or comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.